No, my flights haven't even been confirmed yet, so I don't know what's going on.
G'day, I'm Jason and welcome to this very special episode of Fit for FIFO. As you may have noticed, we are a day early to our usual Thursday release, therefore part 2 of Mike's interview will be released this coming weekend. Well, today we're going to introduce you to a young plumber from Brisbane who will be flying out today, Wednesday the 11th of July, to his very first FIFO job. And he's agreed to give us regular updates each day, which we'll be uploading to our Facebook and Instagram stories. So if you're ready to join him for the highs and lows of his first swing over the next 2 weeks, make sure you're following us on Facebook and Instagram. We've also provided Brad with a FIFO plan template in order to support him through his FIFO journey. So hang around to the end to find out how you can get a free copy. Now let's go meet Brad. Brad, welcome to Fit for FIFO, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, mate.
Well, for starters, I'm 25. I'm from Brisbane, and I currently live with my brother and my old boy. I've got my older sister who lives around the corner with 2 young kids and a partner, and then I've got another sister who lives just north of us in North Lakes.
Yeah. And what's your current job?
And currently I'm working as a commercial plumber and have been for the last 10 years or so. And
Just in around Brisbane?
yeah, mainly around Brisbane. I have done a little bit of work away, furthest being Blackwater,
Yeah.
driven up to Early Beach, Maryborough, Nanango, Gatton and so forth, but predominantly in and around Brisbane.
Alright, so you're just about to start your first FIFO gig?
Yeah,
Tell us
correct.
about
Well, I'm looking at flying out on Wednesday to remote South Australia, so it's pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to it because it's obviously something I've never done before. Still plumbing, and from again what I've gathered, it seems to be more in the site facility maintenance.
Do you know how far roughly you are from any nearby towns or cities? Is it?
It's very remote. I think it's at least a 5-6 hour flight with 2 flights.
Is your first job, is it an operations facility or is it a construction project?
I'm not 100% sure. I think it's operations facility.
Yeah.
It's operations facility.
Operations is like just like an ongoing, like a, operating as opposed to construction, like construction. Yeah. As in is the build of the place. Operations is like one that's ongoing, which
So
is
this one's been set for like 40 years, so it would be operations.
It is definitely operations.
Do you want to ask that again? I'll give you a bit more.
No, it's fine. It's good. So what do you do in your spare time, mate? When you're not working?
In spare time, I play footy with the boys. Try and get to the beach as much as I can, more so in the summer. Spend time with my nephews and all that, and generally just catch up with mates whenever I can.
Have you looked into if there's any of this sort of stuff where you're going?
I haven't yet, to be honest, because I don't know what facilities I'm going to have to myself. That's something I'm going to find out if I have access to vehicles or people have vehicles up there that they get away. But it looks like I'm doing a 2-in-1 roster where I work 7 days a week, so I'm not sure what time off I'll have to get out and explore, but that's something we'll find out as it happens.
Do you want to just tell us, I suppose, what you've been told you're doing and like everything, all the details you know about the job?
So, from what I've gathered, it's more so on the maintenance side of it, proactive and reactive plumbing. So just the facility that we're going to is 40 odd years old, so stuff's starting to go and looking to maintain it and get ahead of it and bring it back up to scratch. I don't know all the details on exactly what I'm doing, but I guess we'll find that out after the first couple of swings. I think I'm going to get partnered with someone and sort of learn the ropes and see what it's like.
Yeah. And what about the camp? Have you been told anything about where you'll be staying, your accommodation?
It's remote north South Australia, and I've looked it up on Google. It looks like quite a large camp. We've got general facilities like a gym and all that sort of stuff. I'm not sure what the sleeping accommodation's like, but
And what about food? Have you heard anything about food?
I haven't heard anything about the food, but I do. The guy who got me onto the job was the chef supervisor, and he said that it's always generally pretty good, so I'm pretty excited to see what it's like, and I hope that it's decent, but it seems to be quite a variety of food there and all that. So
And you're a vegan, aren't you?
no, definitely not. So as long as there's a steak night once a week, I'll be sweet.
What are the things you're most looking forward to?
Something different, to be honest. Like I've been doing the same sort of thing around Brisbane for 10 years or so, and I feel like this is the first time in my life that it's actually suited doing the FIFO sort of structure. So I don't know. I'm really excited to get out, do something different, the idea of catching planes to work and stuff is, again, different and exciting. So, and chance to learn a bit more about the trade and see what it's like out there, I guess.
What about like things you're least looking forward to?
Definitely the things you're going to miss out on.
Yeah.
You know, you've got young nephews, you know, you don't quite know how bad it's going to hit until I guess you miss one of their birthdays or the stuff that you take for granted in and around home that you do week in, week out. So that's the sort of stuff that's going to hurt a bit. Got a lot of mates that are over in London at the moment living, so when they come back home it'll be a bit harder. You know, they're doing stuff on weekends that you're missing out on.
Yeah.
Like there's already a camping trip that's been booked, and I think I'm away for it. So, but that's all part and parcel with it, I guess. So.
Yeah. And any nerves? I mean.
I wouldn't say nerves. I'd say more excited. Like
Yeah.
I'm very comfortable in my trade, that I know what I'm doing, but probably nervous about summer and how hard that's going to hit. To be honest, so.
Yeah, it gets pretty warm.
Yeah, well that's it. Like, you know, it gets up around high 30s in Brisbane, but when you're out these remote places, it gets up in excess of 40, 50 and humid as hell. So. Yeah.
And have you thought about how long you intend doing FIFO for?
I've always said from the start when this came up 2 years, but again, until I know what it's like, it could be longer. Like if I'm suited to it and I enjoy it, then I've got no reason not to stay in it. But again, in the same boat, I could absolutely hate it and tap out after a month or two. But I don't know. I want to give it a good crack and see what it's actually like and give it a chance and really get into it. But I'd like to do at least 2 years.
Do you have any financial goals or an amount that you want to save for? Or?
Yeah, so I'm really looking to get a foot into the property market. So I really want to try and get a first home out of it. I'd like to save 30 grand a year, ballpark figure.
Yeah.
Again, for the next couple of years at least. You know, try and get some money behind myself and do it. But I don't know, just got to see what the lifestyle's like out there. And I guess once you start taking in all your accommodation, food is paid for 2 out of 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much I will be able to save, but it should be a fair bit, hopefully. So.
Yeah, nice. Oh, is your salary clear with you?
Yeah, so they've gone over the pay packet and all that sort of stuff, and it's substantially more than what you get in Brisbane.
Yeah.
And they've set it out in a way that they annualise your salary so that each week you get paid, even when you're in your week off. So that was something I was worried about, is earning big money while I was away, and then on that week off getting almost like a retainer and being short on the ute payments or stuff like that. So they seem to even it out for you, and then any overtime or call-out fees get added into that week specifically. So there is an avenue to earn a bit more money there, so which is good.
What roster are you doing? I don't know if it was...
So currently it's set up as a 2-and-1 with travel dates on the Wednesday. So one day I travel on their time, one day I travel on mine, which is quite good because I had a few mates who worked out in Perth who had to travel on their days off in their week off. So it ended up being 2 or 3 on with 5 days off. So that was always something I was concerned about, but this seems quite reasonable. And the roster itself is based on 140 hours over the time on the 2 weeks, so 7 days, 10 hours a day, which is quite reasonable, I think. So
and so 2-and-1 is generally considered more of a lifestyle friendly. And do you plan on doing any plumbing or any work when you come back from your week off?
At the moment I do. I said to myself I'll do 2 days a week, but that's also in the back of my mind, waiting to see how hard this hits me that 2 weeks away, 7 days a week.
And have you watched any of the Fit for FIFO episodes?
I have actually. I've probably the one that really stuck out to me was the accommodation one, the tour through a dorm, because I worked remotely for a company I worked for when I was an apprentice, and the conditions we went in were very average to say the least. It was like a tomato ball with 12 single beds in the one room, and
in one room.
Yeah, so you had scaffolders, painters, concreters all in there, blokes snoring, really loud, and that was something that I was actually quite fearful of before I'd watched that. What the sort of setup is, what the expectations were of accommodation, and then sort of seeing that you get like a king single and TV, your own bathroom and that sort of stuff, just an area that you can go to, keep neat, and it's sort of your space. Was quite reassuring as well. It's quite nice. And the other one I saw was the food accommodate, like the food place and the food hall, sorry, and that again was quite reassuring. That there's quite a variety of food generally and all that, because there's some nights where someone might throw pasta in front of you and the last thing you want to eat is pasta. So it's good just to be able to go in there and sort of pick what you want and
Yeah.
yeah.
Forward, I think. Yeah. So you're the first guest we've had that is actually hasn't been in FIFO before.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering if you'd be happy to maybe share your experience in the future of your expectations versus the reality of it.
Yep, definitely.
Maybe
Yeah.
we do a few Instagram stories.
Yeah.
And then maybe a follow-up episode.
Yeah, definitely.
Afterwards, maybe after your first couple of swims.
Yeah, see how we're enjoying it and
Yeah.
how it's all going.
Sounds good. So people can follow along. And, so one of our viewers, Jesse Hunter, has actually sent in a question for Brad. How has he prepared himself mentally?
I don't know if I've done a whole lot of preparation mentally. I've just got a real attitude towards taking it as it comes and sort of trying to take it for what it is, because I've honestly got no idea what it's going to be like out there. So I guess the biggest thing is it's only 2 weeks, and if I absolutely hate it, which I don't think I will, I think I'll be quite suited to it, but it's only 2 weeks and it's something different in the end. So I'm really excited just to jump in and give it a real good go and just see what it's like and see what it's about.
And his second question is, does he have a financial plan?
Yeah, definitely. Again, just trying to get into the property market through it. I think being a bit older now is good as well, because I think if I'd done FIFO when I was 20 or so, I would have been shooting off the Bali or just pissing it up against the wall, buying jet skis and all that sort of crap. But I've got an idea of what I want to achieve and strongly trying to get in behind that and make that happen as quick as I can, really. So,
So something else I wanted to share with you is something I've noticed in FIFO is, I suppose, people, especially when they're new going into it, they don't have any sort of plan or anything to guide them, and then they make their decisions in the future based on the situation in FIFO. They get themselves into a little bit of debt, which is easy to do because you can borrow a shitload more. And you seem to enjoy your own money, your money a lot more. So I've created this little plan for you. Basically, I've just put this together from, I suppose, my experience and things that I've noticed that guys suffer with problems and stuff. Well, I hope you enjoyed that and you're as excited as I am to see Brad's daily updates. If you'd like a free copy of the FIFO plan template, click the link below, add your email, and as soon as I work out how to use MailChimp, I'll be sending you a free copy. If you've got any comments or questions for Brad or myself, please leave them in the comments box below. Be sure to follow Brad's daily updates on Facebook and Instagram, and keep an eye out for part 2 of Mike Demecki's interview this coming weekend. See you then.
I'll just let Ryan know that we're at the time, because
Doesn't matter.
he'll come bundling through with all the camping gear.
Oh yeah. That's all right.
Hey Brad, go.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.